Good morning, everybody. I hope you're managing to listen in. It's Happy New Year to everyone. I said I'd be back, and here I am. Well, we're in lockdown again now. I decided over the Christmas period, I think when the couple of days we were allowed to sort of meet just family in our own bubble, I think that had a great effect. But I think the knock-on effect is that this time is affecting us more than ever, more than we even sort of believed that it would. I know it affected me, and was affecting me. And my go-to person, of course, was Walter. I had a chat with him, a Zoom call. Now, you do not want to see what I looked like on that Zoom call. So one of the tips kind of to cheer everybody up was, right, Pat, you need to get your hair washed this morning, the lippy on, and looking a bit better. And you'll see that one of my tips is to kind of do that. So we're in lockdown again, and there really is a desperate need for everyone to be inspired and motivated again. And what better than my weekly videos? I don't know whether I'll go back to a regular daily one, but we'll certainly keep up to date with the weekly one. It also inspires and motivates me to know that you're watching and listening. And of course, it makes me get up, get dressed, get the lippy on, get the hair done. So I do hope that I raise your spirits. However, there's a need to have tips as well to keep you inspired, to keep you motivated. Now, January is a time when you normally would want to make the most headway on your goals, not just encouraging yourself, but encouraging other people. Morning, Liz, thank you. I don't know what the wave means. I'm TikTok. Bring them on camera. Don't know what that means, but we'll do it anyway. However, this is not a time to overwhelm yourself with lists. The main thing is to keep positive, keep and maintain hope despite all the negativity around you. Now, one way to do that is to regularly practice creative things that help you move forward every day. And I make no apologies in saying that my ABC they're definitely exercises of the mind, and that can improve and maintain your overall well-being. Believe you me, I've had to do these over and over again over the last sort of few days. I think, as I say, and it was Walter kind of mentioned to me that I think this time is affecting everyone more than ever. And I know we've got the vaccine, there's hope, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. And just listening to a few young people, schools closing, they're all, they're kind of losing hope. So we need to really keep our spirits up through creativity. Now, because we have all the restrictions around us, I'm also aiming to do a Zoom or a Google Meetup or something to introduce you to my sort of online wellbeing or motivating series. I realised over the years that we all need motivated. We all need someone behind us. It's like when you do physical exercise, I know lots of people will say, if we're in lockdown, we can't go to the gym, or just do it at home. But many people, in fact, probably 90%, maybe most people say, no, I need someone there. I need someone there to push me. Hands up those who have gyms in their house. I don't, but I'm sure there are lots of you. And do you use them every day? No. And if you speak to people, they're saying that I really need that kind of personal trainer to push me and motivate me. So I'm your motivating mind exercise person. And of course, you still can exercise your muscles by thinking about doing the physical exercise. So all these people going sort of for leather with their physical exercise every morning, their 2K, their 10K, I'm with you in my mind, and that's keeping me fit and healthy, hopefully. Anyway, we'll go on to talking about how you can improve the capacity of your lungs as well. If you want updates, of course, please join my Mind Circles community. It's free. Go on to Mind Circles and just join the community, and you get updates on what I'm up to and what we're doing. So this is a time, I would say, when you should start a creative journal. I was hoping that my Changing Seasons for Life, that's my third book this year, so I'm really pleased. There's David. I might try and do that, David. He's saying, why not Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays for my weekly inspirations? I think I'll need to go back to that, even for my own sanity. So watch this space and I'll let you know. I'll put all these wee waves, whatever they mean, I'm not sure. But thank you very much, Billy and John. So I was hoping that changing seasons of life would be out. It's not, but it's coming, so keep a lookout for that. So despite the restrictions, if you've got a positive outlook, opportunities come your way, whether it's an opportunity to do something new, either at work or a hobby or whatever. Now, I know that people have been hit a lot by finances or lack of finances. And I class myself among these. Lots of the work I usually do, I'm either offering lots of it free, or it's all dried up. People not sure when more work is going to come in. Lots of people have lost their jobs as well as losing loved ones. But one tip to help you is to take time for yourself and reflect. Now that's a difficult one, because if you take time to reflect, and I do this frequently, but just recently, it's kind of got me reflecting on some of the sad things, and that can sort of bring you down. So you need to let go of these. It's all right to cry and have emotions. You've got to have these, let them out. But try and get rid of the negative people around you, get rid of the negative voice in your head. Get that into the balloon and get it sent off. So how you can do that is think of January as being a time to get your brain into creative mode. So what are you going to do that's creative, especially when you need to abide by restrictions and all the rules? So what did people do last year? Remember, people took up new hobbies, painting, drawing, singing, dancing, sharing all these on social media, which was very courageous, but it cheered everybody up. But I heard this morning somebody saying that we seem to turn a lot of things that happen to us, maybe UK-wide, into kind of comedy and make fun. But actually, that's a good thing. I think having laughter definitely helps. Now, you might think, oh, I can't paint, I can't draw, and that might be so. What you can start doing is just doodle. Have you ever been someone, when you used to be in the phone, or even if you're on your mobile phone just now, you doodle and you draw? I tend to draw treble clefs, the musical notes. You might believe that you can't write. Some people might say, I've got books out, but they might say, well, she can't write either. But I need to say, no, I've done it, so try it. But remember, one creative exercise many years ago, I was told, is if you think you can't write, just start your pen and say, I can write. I can write. Just write the words. You'll be amazed at kind of the pen sometimes or the pencil takes on a life of its own, and you'll start adding more words and you'll amaze yourself. You can also try writing with your non-dominant hand. That's a good exercise, very highly creative. So it might be illegible at first, can't sort of read it, but while you're doing this, it's kind of pushing you a wee bit more to be creative. Another thing is to listen to music. Listen to music while you're writing. I like classical music or soft music, but it's whatever sort of floats your boat. Just put on the music while you're writing. Anything that gets your creative juices flowing. Now, why not do what children do? Get some materials, a fork, a straw, cork, and some paint in a bowl, and just try. You can do this with the children if you're living at home and you're all sort of closely working together, living together. Then just get a bit of paper and dab the shapes and stamp out shapes on a paper. It's really amazing what can come out of it. As you know, I love walking outside in nature, but even if I'm inside, I love watching the clouds. So why not try drawing different shapes of clouds? Take a notepad, a bit of paper, and just start doodling in shapes of clouds. See how many shapes you can make. Another thing is, if you are out walking, you could have a notepad with you. I know we call it dreich weather here. It's been wet and damp, but there are good days. It's dry today. And you can maybe just, as you're walking along with your notepad, have a look at maybe a tree, a house, anything at all, and then draw these, these are for your eyes only. So if it's a terrible picture, it doesn't matter. It's getting your different side of your brain working. In fact, I remember I saw a photo, and it was a camera photo taken of a dry stone dike. It was one of these walls that are made without any cement that go around fields and countrysides. And I looked at this picture and I thought, that's been painted. And the photographer said to me, no, that's a photograph. And it actually highlighted that to the eye it might look like a grey wall, but actually there's blues, there's pinks, there's also many different hues, and sometimes moss and green. So we tend to not look at things really closely. So start looking again more closely at things when you're out walking. Better use, of course, just use your journal to draw and doodle, and that's what I was hoping. My changing seasons of life, I've left blank pages, and I'm hoping to kind of that you'll use that as a journal. Using your imagination. Now, children are great at this, and I think sometimes it's knocked out of us as when we're growing up. If you've been in a class of sort of 5-year-olds and you're daydreaming, you could ask them, tell me something creative. How would you use your imagination? You've got lots of stories. But as we grow older, we're told to stop daydreaming, stop doing this. You need to be doing something else. And of course, actually, that's ridiculous. It's the creative brain that keeps you resilient, and therefore with resilience you keep hope and maintain hope. So get your children involved. One of the things you can do is close your eyes, and you can ask the children to do this, and imagine where you would go on a trip, and then share your experiences with each other. Now the children will have fabulous stories to tell you. Remember the lady I talked about when she was in a care home? She used to share her stories of her trips around the world with everyone in the care home. And of course, people were kind of rather envious. They said, she's had a fabulous life. Imagine going to all these wonderful places. And when the nurses were telling the other carers, she's never actually left her own village. And she was using magazines and travel magazines, and she was going around the world in her mind and sharing these experiences with everyone. If you're not living alone and you're living with families and partners and children, you might want to try getting together and draw something. Somebody starts and you have a bit of paper and you draw a line or a circle. That's it. That's all you do. Then somebody adds to it and somebody adds to it. You might try using your hands and have hand painting and use it as the family tree and then pin it on the wall. You can go on and on with these types of exercise. It's creative. And remember, you don't have to be right. This hasn't to be perfect. Your picture and your drawing or your poem does not have to be perfect. This can be difficult for me because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I've had to learn to release myself from perfection. And of course, you'll be amazed at how liberating this is. It creates resilience again. Resilience means you can bounce back against adversity, against what life throws at you. And it just frees you up for new opportunities. You think differently. And when you do this, you're bravely taking yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's what I think we need to do. And by doing that, you're learning to have resilience and courage. And oh, that's good, David. David's just saying he's written a continuous manuscript. Fantastic. That would be really inspirational. So get going, get the creative juices flowing. Remember, the most successful, of course, artists, engineers, architects, they go through repetition, experimentation, testing. They don't get everything right away. Before they create their masterpieces, they go through all this testing and experimentation, and they learn from the things that don't work. So as often the case that when you learn more from your mistakes. Your greatest strengths come from learning from your mistakes. And never quit. It's try again. It's changing your mindset. Call it a fail forward mindset. Some say you need to become creative, or you need time to become creative. Now, I don't really believe, I don't sort of agree with this. I think that if you use some of the tips that I talk about, you can find yourself building creativity very quickly. Of course, you need to take time to do them, but before long, you'll find yourself easily using your creative brain. Now, the lockdown, everybody said, well, we'll have loads of time now, but it's the old story. If you've too little to do, you do too little. You'll have heard the saying, when you want something done, ask a busy person. And I found that you can easily sort of slip into depression if you've not got a lot to do. You think, oh, well, I'll do that later. And it can get you really into a kind of down, depressing mode, and you'll find yourself becoming more negative and depressed. So the tips are, it's like, get up and get your lippy on, men, women, whatever, it doesn't matter. Set your alarm, get up, write something in your journal, write something you're grateful for, a gratitude list, add to it or look at it if you've got one. And of course, use my ABC tips. Couple of minutes. I mean, it's not, people say, oh, I don't have time. You do have time. And you've got time for these if you set your alarm, just get up. Sometimes people, if you're living together, you could set your alarm for a slightly different time. Have time for yourself. If you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, now I've had this a couple of times, and don't start being anxious. Just instead get up and use that time to be creative. Use the ABC, doodle, start doodling, do whatever. If you've got young babies, of course, use the time when they're sleeping to be creative. Of course, that might not be much, so you'll need to kind of find time for yourself. Just doodle, draw, take a moment to do anything like that. Now, I've talked about stichomancy. That's, remember, randomly choosing a page of my self-help books, a paragraph, whatever. You'll find something that's very appropriate for you at that moment. Try it with other books too. Works every time for me. You find something you kind of need to know about, or you need to you need to learn at that moment in time, and it's inspiring. So when you go out for your allowed walk in these lockdown times, another tip is don't go the same route. In fact, if you manage to go with the children, young people, ask them to choose a way. What way would we go today? When you want to doodle or draw, another exercise is close your eyes, have a set of coloured pens or markers there, and choose, say, 3 coloured markers. And these are the only ones you'll use for that day or even that week. These are simple things. If you've got books on architecture or art, and if you haven't, go online and then look at some of these and make up your own mind about what title would you give that piece of work, and what it represents to you. And because these are all just getting you to use your creativity. Now, I read a research article here. A lot of what I talk about is very repetitive, but I make no apologies about this, because sometimes it's the same topic over and over, but I tried to find something different. And I read an article on astronauts, and the astronauts have to learn about self-isolation, and we can learn from them. Of course, the researcher didn't float around in space, but they isolated themselves in their apartment. They worked there, they ate there, they tried to actually even eat the food the astronauts would, the freeze-dried food. They wanted to explore the effects of isolation, of living in isolation from society, and they confined themselves to the same place 24 hours a day. Now, it wasn't for as long as astronauts. But the researcher didn't know when he did this a few years ago, many years ago, that we would be in an isolation situation in 2020 and 2021. The results of the research were appropriate for today as they were then for astronauts. In short, stay busy, make a schedule, be as busy as you can with meaningful work, be grateful if you do have work, even if working from home. Many people don't have that opportunity. When you do this, time goes more quickly. In fact, I remember when we were allowed out and you go into shops, some of the staff found it very long days because they weren't busy. So it just extends your time if you're not doing anything. If you've got children at home, lots of people are worrying about schools closing and how will they learn. And I can't remember, but was Isabel, a friend, she posted something up on Facebook about a school homework, and it was like engineer, teach them to change, or how you would make I don't know, it was like change a bulb, or how you would wash a pan. I mean, there are life skills you can be teaching them, but one of the most important things, I think, is talk with them not about school. Talk with what they like to achieve. Involve them in the creative exercises. They need to keep and maintain hope, and you can help them do this. Break up your day, go for a walk. It's especially important if you're working from home. I know it's easy when you're focused on something. You forget about time. You forget to take the break, even forget to eat. So try not to do that. Remember to take the breaks. Now, what the astronauts have is they have a daily work and breaks schedule filled down to the last 5 minutes. Now, I don't suggest you do that, but you don't need to be as extreme as that, but break your day up. Now, the difference between astronauts and us is, of course, the astronauts have a time span. They know when their mission is going to last. And that's the difficulty with us. We don't know at the moment. And it's the uncertainty that causes stress and anxiety. So we need to use these creative exercises. And of course, if you're living with people, if you're living constantly with people, yeah, you're going to get on people's nerves. I mean, it's just a done phrase, really. You will get on people's nerves. So remember my effective communication model. The focus, acknowledge, clarify and respond. You can look back, or I've got these tips in my books as well. You need to, if an argument arises, of course, you need to remove yourself from that. Just go to the little room. Don't rise to the arguments. Remember, I was promoting, and I'll be doing it again. Go to the little room. Just take yourself off and 3 deep breaths. And of course, remember to have time for yourself, to have fun. And have fun with people that you're living with. And physical and mental exercises, yes, physical exercise is important to reduce stress. But, your mental exercises are really the things that you need to combine them. You need to do that. So make sure you look after yourself. That's vital, and love yourself. Now go back and remind yourself about the live video where I talked about the affirmation saying, I love myself. I love myself. Hands up those who are remembering to do that. Bet there's not many of you. Bet you've forgotten. So start again. And as Dave was saying, maybe I should be doing the these Monday, Wednesday and Friday again, just to keep us all, our spirits up. This is where I'm hoping also to add to this, like my online Zoom or Google calls. Haven't quite worked it out yet, but I'd like them to be interactive, because I think that we need to be sharing. Sharing is caring and helps healing. And thank you last night, Charlotte, for she remembered that phrase. I think there was the shorebill. Oh, that's terrible. My mind's going, but it was a bird, and they're quite frightening. It was really it was mimicking one of the adults. And I thought I quite liked that. And she said, oh, they're quite frightening. And then put up a picture of a frightening bird, so I was about to have nightmares. Anyway, be kind to others. And it's interesting, isn't it, that at the very start, last year, we were told be kind to others, where others were clapping for the frontline workers. And then as time wore on and people are breaking their rules, and it's terrible, but people started sort of, I suppose, dobbing in their neighbours, etc. Now, I know they shouldn't be doing this, but there's been a lot of anger around, and we need to really try and tone that down and just, be kind to yourself and others. And a smile costs you nothing. And I repeat, I don't have a magic wand. I wish I did, but I do have my ABC. They're very effective, psychological, proven methods for improving mental, emotional, and overall health. So focus on these, and today the creative meditation I'm going to do is a safe place. Now B, I think it's important just now just to think about what the B means. The B is effective breathing. And if you do yoga and other exercises, you should be taught this. But lots of people still say to me, oh, I can't do it. But you really need to try, because it increases your lung capacity. And of course, this virus affects the lungs. Therefore, it's vital that you try and keep that capacity to its maximum. And it's breathing from the lower diaphragm. So it's like when you breathe in through the nose, your tummy's going out, like blowing up a balloon. And then you're holding the breath, and then you're slowly exhaling through the mouth, and your tummy goes in again. Try doing the breathing to the count of 3. Hold for the count of 3, and it's a kind of slow 3. 1, 2, 3, and hold for the same, and then exhaling. And of course, using your creative imagination. Now, if you don't have that, I've taken time to do mind bites meditations. Now, I know I've had to charge for them. It's taken me in a recording studio to do them, but there's lovely videos, and they're 2-3 minutes, maybe some are slightly longer, but please seek them out, because you can choose one of your choice. Just look at one, see which you would like to choose, and you can watch the video and then close your eyes and imagine yourself there. So for today, the affirmation is, I am creative, I am resilient. And the B, of course, your deep breathing, your effective breathing, and your C for the using my safe place. So what I think we should do is, I'm going to do the safe place, I think, now. So let's just sit with our feet on the ground and back straight. I think you just get yourself into that positive mode, and it'll just take a couple of minutes. And take a deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. Now, this is called a safe place because it makes you feel secure and confident, and you can take yourself here whenever you want or need. It helps you let go of fears and anxieties. And it gives you a little time out. The Mind Bites meditation gives you these little time out for yourself. Just a few minutes. Imagine yourself in a place that you like to be. This can be anywhere. Somewhere you like to go, to dream, or just sit. Imagine your surroundings. All around you is quiet. You feel safe. This is your safe place. No one can enter this safe place unless you want them to. You are comfortable being there. You have no fears when you are there. Remember, this is your safe place. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold, and then exhale through the mouth. Take another deep breath in, and when you breathe in, feel the confidence flowing into your mind and body. Now exhale slowly to the count of 3. Now you can open your eyes and you can say your affirmation. I am no longer stressed. I feel calm. I feel confident. I feel safe and secure. And that just is taking you to a different place, and then you can shake your shoulders, stretch, yawn, do whatever you like. And I'll just give a wee wave to Maggie. Thank you for coming on board there, Maggie. Now I'm going to continue to, well, I think I might take up David there, what he was saying, my lovely Irish friend. I love all his positive posts and really inspiring. I might start doing my Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So instead of meeting you next Wednesday, then I'll maybe do a Friday one. Watch this space. I'll post it up on Facebook. It's trying to think of different kind of topics to talk about, but does it matter as long as they're positive? So please try and do these creative exercises. My videos are of course posted up again and you can watch them, and I think I put a link up on Facebook for that. Meanwhile, remember to follow the rules, stay well, stay safe, keep and build resilience through these creative tips. And of course, virtual hugs to you all. And thank you for watching. It's really inspiring and motivating for me. And have a fabulous day. Until the next time. Thank you.